says compare the graphs of f of x equals 1/3 x plus 4 and g of x equals 1/3 x. Select all the statements that are true. So these are always tough because you got to get all the correct statements. All right, so the first thing you should notice is that these equations are written in slope-intercept form. And so slope-intercept form, just as a quick review, looks like this. Y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So on a question like this, you can do this without a graph, but I always encourage students to just make a quick little sketch because it'll help you to visualize what's going on. And so I'm terrible at drawing straight lines, so don't get upset with me. These are actually pretty good. Wow. Well, until that. And so my graph here doesn't have to be super accurate. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. I just want a general idea what's going on with this. Because if you look at the answers, they're not asking me for super specific information. And so if I can just draw a little sketch, then I can kind of visualize what's going on. So for f of x, it's again got a slope of 1/3 that's positive. So I know it's an increasing function. So it's going to go like this. And it has a y-intercept of 4. So it crosses the y-axis at 4 and it leans this way. That's really all I need to know. So let's draw that. So I'm going to say right here is 4, the y-intercept, and it's got a slope of 1/3. And here's my terrible straight line again, which is actually pretty good. Nice. And so that's f of x. And then if I look at g of x, it has the same slope and it doesn't have a y-intercept here. That means the y-intercept is 0. So let's pause for a second. If you have two linear equations with the same slope, you should know that that tells you they're parallel. So slope, I like to think of it as it measures the steepness of a line. So as the slope increases, this will get steeper. And so they have the same exact slope, so they're going to be parallel, but this one goes through the y-intercept at 0. So let's graph that. So goes through the y-intercept at 0. It's parallel. I'll do my best to make these parallel. And so it looks something like that. And that's g of x. So again, if you make a quick little sketch like this, again, I didn't really number the graph. It's not super accurate. I just needed to see what these two things look like compared to each other. And now we can go back and answer the question. We can find out which statements are true. So A says the two lines are perpendicular. Perpendicular would be if one of them went like this at a 90-degree angle across the other one. So they're not perpendicular. They are parallel. That's what B says. We already determined that because the slopes were the same. C says the graph of f of x is the translation. That means moving it. So moving g of x 4 units up. So if you take g of x and move it 4 units up, then you get f of x. So that is true. D says the graph of f of x is the translation of this one 4 units down. So it's saying the opposite. And so that is not true. So if that was true, then f of x would be down below g of x. And then E says the graph of g of x is the translation of f of x 4 units up. So it's saying take f of x and move it 4 units up and you get g of x. And that's not true. Again, hopefully you can see as you're going through these that if you didn't have a picture to look at, it would be a lot harder to visualize, at least for me. I like having an image to look at. And then the last one says the graph of g of x is the translation of f of x 4 units down. So you take f of x, move it 4 units down, and you get g of x. That's true. So there you go. Keep working hard, and you will master the math.